I was tired. The body was tired, okay? And needed to go to rest mentally, emotionally, physically.
Be love. Be light. Be peace. Be life. Be wrong. All right. Be strong.
This is part 2 of how the backstory of me being admitted into the psych ward. I know that's a lot, but bear with me. We left off as I was admitted to the psych ward. At the time, my sister had to leave, but my best friend was there with me. And during this time, I was like, okay, so this is really happening. Like, you're literally about to be admitted to a psych ward. My best friend leaves. I am now in this space with strangers. Obviously, it's a psych ward, so there are many people who are wrestling with their mental health. I get into a room. Thank God the person I was with, she had similar qualities as me. She was an artist. I'm an artist. That night, I just was like in disbelief. Like, I just needed time to say, Whitney, how did you get here? You're in a psych ward? You're in a psych ward. Like, you're literally, like, you can't just get up and go home. Like, it's not like a hospital, you just get up and go. Like, you're here. I get up. So I have on this, the hospital gown, and they had, I think it was breakfast. Yeah, it was breakfast. So I get up to go have breakfast, and the eggs was disgusting. And I don't know why, but in that moment, I just cried. I went in the room, and I cried. And I was just like, this can't be life. I go in my room. I process that this is really happening to me. I won't say it felt like jail, but it felt like jail. So, because you can't just walk out and be like, all right, I'm good now, peace. I get on the phone, because you have phone calls, you get a phone. So I get a phone, so I call my best friend. I'm like, girl, here's some of the things you need to bring me. I said, bring my Bible, bring me a hoodie, bring me my sneakers, and you could wear regular clothes in there, but you just can't wear sneakers that had anything that had laces in it. You couldn't wear it. So even if it was a hoodie that had like strings in it, you had to take it out. My best friend brings that. Naturally, I'm a fashionista, so I was like, if I'm gonna be in here, I need to look like a fashionista. Like, you know what I mean? I need to look like something. So I put together my outfit. And so at that point, I became very comfortable, because I think we had that's how she wore it. We had visiting hours. My sister and my best friend, we were talking or whatever, and it just so happened. We looked over, and I won't say the name, but there's a well-known celebrity visiting someone else. So we're like, huh? Is that such and such? At that point, there was the guy that I was kind of in conversation with. I recognized, like, he didn't look like he belonged there. And so I was like, I'm sure he was looking at me like, girl, you don't look like you belong here. So we had been in conversation, but I was like, this guy don't look like, and sure enough, he didn't, because, he was, a celebrity. In my mind, that made me realize it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity, it doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter anything. When your mental health is in jeopardy, none of that stuff matters. None of that stuff matters. You just not mentally well, it doesn't matter. At that point, I'm a fashionista. I'm about 2 days into this thing, making friends, because I'm like, well, girl, you in here, so what you finna do? So I started making friends. I started talking to people. I started mingling. I started networking. In my mind, that's what I do. Outside of the psych ward, I would just mingle with people. So by the third day, I believe they started doing like these like exercises where you could do like art therapy, music therapy. They made it very I can't think of the word, but they made you feel welcomed. Like, you didn't feel like you was in a psych ward, basically. And now I'm starting to feel like more like myself a little bit. While I was in there, I did have to take medication, but the great thing that I'm grateful for is that I only had to take one medication, which was Zoloft for my severe depression, because that's what I was diagnosed with, severe depression. Granted, there were other people who also had way more medication than me. Like, it was just like, I was super grateful. I've only had to take one medication, and I knew how to vouch for myself, because there was a time when they asked me, do you want to take sleeping medicine? I'm like, girl, no, it ain't that serious. Like, so I was like, no, I'm good on that. Day 4, and now I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go home. Because at that point, I had got admitted on a Friday. By Monday, I was like, child, what we doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what doctor I need to see? Like, because, all right, I'm starting to feel better. Get me out of here. Not only that, I had, I'm making phone calls. I'm on the phone all day telling people three-way call. Yo, call such and such. Call such, like, I'm thinking, my mom, like, it's kind of like jail. So I'm like, call such and such, put them on three-way. But now I'm like, all right, Whitney, when you get out of here, you have to do so much better in your life. In my mind, was like, I don't ever want to see myself in this state of mind ever again. Like, this was really bad. Like, this, like, I keep saying it, but it was literally like, girl, you're in a psych ward. You're in a psych ward. Like, you let things get so bad. Here's some of the things that, looking back, in which I wish I could have done better. And I was very prideful around that time. I didn't ask for help. I didn't show in my mind, that was weakness. Like, you don't show that you're struggling in certain areas. You just deal with it. Now, no, I'm struggling with this. This is what's going on. But back then, I didn't look at it like that. Not listening to my body. My body was telling me for quite some time that I needed to sit down. But I was just neglecting it. Like, oh, I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to keep going. Because like I started with the story saying I was working on this book bag. But in my mind, child, I was tired. The body was tired, okay? And needed to go to rest mentally, emotionally, physically. But I'm just going, neglecting all of these signs, these warning signs. Like, I was overextending myself to a point where, again, I'm in a psych ward. By day 5, because now it's like a Tuesday, and then not to mention, prior to that, my sister and I had booked a flight to LA. At that point, I'm like, all right, I need to go catch my flight to LA. Not knowing I was going to be in a psych ward for 6 days. But the 5th day, I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm ready to get out. So you basically have to sign yourself out and say that you're willing to get out. So I get out. I still kind of feel like it felt like, I don't know the best way to describe it. I felt like I was still kind of lightheaded. So even looking back at it, there was some things that I still was like, girl, you are not fully 100%, but you're slowly there. Stay tuned to part 3, and I'm gonna tell you guys what my life looked like after the psych ward.